So there's a minhag throughout Klal Yisrael. I'm sorry? That Shlomo, when the Aseret Dibros, the Ten Commandments, are read, people stand up. In the Shiva world, they stand for Kriyas Torah anyhow. So, but for people who are not standing, they stand up for the Ten Commandments. That's the minhag throughout Klal Yisrael. They bang and they get up for the Ten Commandments. Question is, that seems to be problematic. Because the Rambam tells us in his Tshuva Svarim, just a little side point, people think Achronim were the first ones to write Tshuva Svarim. The Cham Sofer, the Not Yehuda. But no, the whole concept of Shaila Tshuva started way before Moshe Feinstein, and even these rabbis. It started at the times of the Rishonim. The Ramban had Tshuva Svarim, Rashi had Tshuva Svarim. So the Rambam, Maimonides, has the Shaila Azor. He brings the Gemara that originally the Ten Commandments were actually in the Shema. Okay? Max would not be happy. Definitely would be a little bit longer, right? You would have the Ten Commandments in the Shema itself. But they stopped it. Why? Because people were saying, oh, you really don't have to keep the Torah. You just have to keep the Ten Commandments. Araya, they made it into a kitzur. They made the Ten Commandments. The rest of the Torah really is not important. It's really, these are the main things you have to keep. So the Minim, the Apikosim, the heretics were saying that. So in order to get rid of that, they took the Dibros, Ten Commandments, out of the davening. If you look in the Siddur, at the end of davening, they have extra prayers. Pashat Hamon, the Ten Commandments, Pashat Tshuva, different things they added to the service. Additional prayers. Why? So people shouldn't think that the Ten Commandments are the main part of the Torah. Everything else doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So they took it out of the davening. Say it after davening, as a reminder, before you go to work, make sure that you keep in mind all the important things. Haman, Pashaman, Panasa, Tshuva, Ten Commandments. So, the question is, somebody writes to the Rambam, already there was a minhag already in his days, and the person that wrote the Rambam, that maybe you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't stand up for the Ten Commandments because you're showing, oh, this is what I stand up for. This is important. Everything else I don't stand up for. Reminds me of something that happened next door at Beth Israel. Modern Orthodox Shul. One of the Lakewood Rosh Yeshivas was here. Happens to be with Makil Cutler. And he was visiting. And he did not get up for the prayer for the state of Israel.
He was in Beth Israel?
Davening.
What was he doing there?
Figured out.
He got lost.
And he was, and he didn't get up. Somebody asked him afterwards, why didn't you get up? I mean, you're fundraising for the yeshiva, and don't you want to get donations from the modern Orthodox, the real modern? That would be insulted, be upset if you don't get up for the prayer for Israel. So it sort of defeats the purpose of your visit. And he said that he wanted to show a point. If the people in the shul, were quiet and they behaved, they were makshav, Kriya Shema, Shemona Esrei, Kedusha, Kaddish, important parts of davening. Okay, then he would get up for this part of davening too. They didn't care about any of the important stuff. The state of Israel, that they cared about. It's one of the things that we say, pretty common theme in my shiurim. Modern Orthodox are obsessed with the state of Israel. Everything else doesn't matter. That's like the Havdalah. Like, Ten Commandments matter. Everything else doesn't matter. So getting back to the story. So he didn't get up to show that idea that, I'm not part of this. Everything else doesn't matter. This matters. I just brought on the story to show the way the Adam Godel shows us. You have to know your priorities. But getting back to the point, so the Rambam, so this is what the fellow writes to the Rambam, just like we took out the Ten Commandments from the davening, because people were saying that this is all that matters. Nothing else matters. So too, it's wrong for this minhag that people stand up for the Ten Commandments, then they sit down and write afterwards. Doesn't that show that only this matters? Look, we play around for the whole davening, and we only get up for this. Doesn't it show that you're giving this more cheshivas than anything else?
You technically just stand up a little before.
Okay, so that's the answer. That's what we do. That's what most people get up already.
You know why you're standing though. You can pretend all you want, but you're standing up.
But that doesn't show. I hear Shmuel's point is that if you get up earlier, it doesn't also do that. The answer is, the point is, the bigger problem is when you get up before. You don't get up before. You only go for the Ten Commandments, and then you sit down again. If you get up, Shmuel, much earlier, not 2 psukim earlier, you get up by Chodesh HaShlishi, much before. Okay, you get up already much earlier, then it's not a problem. Okay, I would say I would get up already here, in beginning of the year, in Revi. Nah, Revi is a little too much. In beginning of Chamishi, you can get up, or beginning of Shishi, way before, so it doesn't show that you're getting up for the Ten Commandments. Okay, so that's halacha l'maisa. Okay. This part of the shir is not on the Ma'aser shir. The Ma'aser shir asks your local Orthodox rabbi. Okay? If you can't find one, then ask the Chabad Shliach where you are. So, we're getting back. So the Ma'aser halachically, that's what we do. You get up earlier to show that you're not getting up just for the Ten Commandments. But that was the question to the Rambam, and the Rambam says, you're right. You should not do that. This minhag should be abolished. This minhag that people only get up for Ten Commandments, wrong minhag. It's a minhag shtutz, it's a wrong minhag, and that should be abolished. So the question is, the people who do that, they're not going like the Rambam. So you can say, okay, so they're not going like the Rambam. Fine, that's one answer. Then I won't have a shir. So obviously, we're not going to say it like that. So the people who don't do like I suggested, like Shlomo suggested, you get up earlier, and then it's not nikud that you're doing it for the Rambam, right? So if you if you get up just for the Ten Commandments, what do you do about the problem that the Rambam raised that it's the wrong thing? Because that shows that you're giving more cheshivas to the Ten Commandments than to anything else. Well, Soloveitchik brings a fascinating idea to answer this question. Of course, he's going to bring up something else. Answer that, and then we'll answer the original thing. Okay. If you look in the Chumash, in some Chumashim, by the Ten Commandments, they have the way the Chumash is. Okay. Then they have on the bottom another type of trup. I don't know if you guys heard this before. There's the Tam Elyon and the Tam Tachto. 2 different ways of reading the Torah. By the Ten Commandments. As far as I know, that's the only place in the Torah where you have 2 trups: the standard and then the unusual one. Why is that?
People actually do the unusual.
Yeah. See, the Tam Elyon people do by the Ten Commandments on Shavuos. When you read it on Shavuos.
Which one's the normal one? Which one's the Tam Elyon?
Okay, so I'm going to explain. The Tachton is what you have in the Chumash itself. Okay? The Tam Elyon is a special trup that you do for Shavuos. Some people do it even when they read Yisro and Eschanon, 10 Commandments. When they read it for Bashas Yisro, there are some people who do that for them also. The minhag, in most places in America, for example, not to do that. In Israel, they do it. The Tam Elyon, even when they read Yisro and Eschanon. But for us here, we read Elyon when you read it on Shavuos. Okay? What is the difference? Why do we have Tam Elyon and Tam Tachton? So, what's the difference? So I'll show you inside. That's why I had it. If you look at the Tam Tachton, the way it is in the Chumash, so you'll have in the Psukim more than one dibur, more than one commandment in the Psukim. The Psukim are divided, whatever cheshbon, how the Psukim are divided, but it doesn't go by dividing it per dibur. Okay? For example, let's go to the mitzvah of Shabbos. In the Tam Tachton, in the Psukim, you'll have the dibur of Shabbos divided amongst a few psukim. Pasuk Ches, Zachar Hashem Shabbos L'Kadsho. Then Pasuk Tes, Shesh Yom Tov V'Tizkom L'Achtacha. Yud, it goes through the whole thing. in Tam Elyon, the entire Shabbos is one pasuk. Good? From Zachor all the way till Yom Shabbos Vayikat Shehu is in one, over here it's the Stuma, or Psucha by the other ones, and one what we call Parsha. For us it's really a pasuk. But, what we call Parsha is not necessarily what the Parsha is in the Torah, right? When you have the Pei or the Samach, we use the word Parsha for Sidra. That's why some people would say, what's the Sidra this week instead of the Parsha? Because technically Parsha is where you have the Samach to the next Samach. But, so each Parsha, in the literal sense, will be for each Dibur. Okay? Why? What? That's for another shmooze. Maybe another time. If you remind me, we'll have a whole shmooze on the significance of why there's an Indian to read Parsha that way. But we're going to explain a little bit, but not fully tonight. Okay, so I explained the difference in how the Kriya is done. There's also a different trop too. Okay, but the main difference is like I said, that the Dibur are divided amongst each Parsha has a specific Dibur for it, as opposed to the regular trop where you can have as opposed to the regular trop where you can have in a few psukim discussing one mitzvah. For example, Shabbos is from Ches all the way to Yud Aleph.
He doesn't know. Well, he doesn't say it. Watch what he said.
Now, what's the reason? Because during the year, when you read it, Pashas Yisro, okay, you're reading it the way Hashem gave Moshe Rabbeinu the Torah, and you read it in that way. It's very important to read it in the way the Torah is given. The Gemara tells us in a few places, Brachos and Megillah, Kol Psukkah de lo Paskei Moshe and not lo Paskinu. We don't end Psukkim the way you feel like ending the Psukkim. We have to make the Psukkim the way Moshe Rabbeinu made the Psukkim through Hashem. Therefore, Kriyas Torah that's during the year is divided amongst the Psukim. But the Kriyas Torah of the Aseret Dibros, let's say on Shavuos, okay, and some even when they read it on Pashas Yisro, or Pashas Vaschana, that's not the regular Kriyas Torah of Kriyas Torah B'Rabim. But what is it? What are we doing on Shavuos? We're having a Zecher from Ma'amid HaSinai. On Shavuos, when we read the Torah Dibros, we are reenacting the Sinai experience. Beautiful insight from Soloveitchik. It's not just the regular Kriyas Torah. If I could paraphrase, he doesn't say this, but if I could paraphrase the words of the Haggadah, right? Chai v'adam li'usas atzmo, ki'ilu will be makabel the Torah right now. But Soloveitchik does say this idea that by reading the Sefer Dibros on Shavuos, we're reliving the Sinai experience. Okay? Therefore, we read it in Tam Elyon, the way the Dibros were divided. To show that we're reading it B'Torah, Kriyas Aseret Dibros, and not from the Kriya of the Parsha, of the way we read the Psukim in the Parsha Shavua of any Parsha, Parshas Baloscha, or on the Yom Tovim, the way we read the Parsha of the Moadim. So we dafka change the trop, and we change the way you read the Psukim to show that we're not doing a Psukim of regular Kriyas Torah, but it's a separate thing called reliving the Mount Sinai experience. We're having another miniature Mount Sinai. We're having Mama Sinai Jr. And therefore we read it in the way the Torah is given. So that rule that you can't divide up Psukim the way you want, that doesn't apply over here. Because we're doing it the way Hashem did it. Kol Psukkah de lo Pasuk Moshe and lo Paskinon is based on why? Because we do it the way Hashem told Moshe. But if you're reliving the Mount Sinai experience, then you can do it the way Hashem told Moshe at that time, which is what we're doing now. And that's why we have this special thing called Tam Elyon, to show that we're reliving the Mount Sinai experience. If that's the case, now we know why you don't have to come on to what Shlomo said before. You get up earlier, you get up by Vayered Hashem, or you get up by Yova Moshe much earlier to show that we're not giving more chashivos, more credence to the Torah Dibros more than anything else. That's a nice shot. That's what we do. But we asked before, not everybody does that. There are people who get up only for the Ten Commandments. What's the head to do that? Says Rav Soloveitchik, a beautiful insight. Did you figure it out, Shlomo? We're reliving the Mount Sinai experience. So at the Mount Sinai experience, they got up for the Torah Dibros. There was a special thing called Maimon Har Sinai. So therefore, that's the heter to stand up dafka for the Ten Commandments. Because we're not showing more chashivas of the Ten Commandments more than anything else. What we're doing is we're having a zecher of Maimon Har Sinai. And by Maimon Har Sinai, all that was given was the Ten Commandments. I mean, obviously we know that everything else was included in the Ten Commandments. Even the Tosha Baal Peh, the oral law, was given at Mount Sinai. But the Ten Commandments was the experience. It was a Maimon Har Sinai experience. And since we are reliving that, therefore you can stand up for that, because we're not showing more chashivas to the Ten Commandments than anything else, but we're reliving the Mount Sinai experience. And therefore you get up for the Ten Commandments, because we're showing that's what we're doing now. We're reliving the Mount Sinai experience. Let's be zecher to relive the Mount Sinai experience every time on Shavuos when we read the Ten Commandments.